Hello. All right, so I was 10 years old and my parents got divorced. My mother took us back to Norway, where she was from, and my father stayed back in the UK. Fast forward 6 years, my mother's taking care of my brother and I, and her back totally breaks down. She's got 2 months, more or less, outside of work and more or less lying on her back all the time. I had no clue, obviously, how to help her. And did not have very much or any experience with this type of situation. So one evening, we're on the sofa at home watching TV. She's lying down. I've got her feet on my lap, and just out of pure reflex, start rubbing her feet, just massaging away and not having any idea again what I was doing, just bouncing off some feedback from her saying, you know what, that goes all the way up my back. I feel that all the way up through my leg. That feels exactly the same pain in my lower back, but it's a good pain. It's a good bad pain, and I'm just working off that sensation. And 4 or 5 minutes, I guess, is what I'm doing, and then I can't remember the rest of that evening. Go to bed, woken up by her the next morning, shaking me, saying, "My back is so much better. I could get up out of bed. I don't know what you did. You have to have some healing hands." And those healing hands, or the motivation from my mother to seek some kind of manual therapy profession, led me 1 year later at some kind of, it was a conference or a fair for education for high school students. I went looking for the medical department or area, and I found the Scandinavian College of Manual Medicine. They had a stand there, and they were promoting their course, obviously, and they recommended if you wanted to learn anything about how to work in the manual medicine industry, they said you should go and do this massage course. We've got this 3-day course. You can get introduced to an instructor who's a naprapath, which is the profession that you get from this course, and he'll tell you all about it, and you'll get to be able to try to use your hands and work with people. So about 2 months later, I did that. I showed up. I was just turned 17. And there were 16 other women and myself, the only boy. And I met this instructor there who was absolutely super inspirational. He seemed to know every single thing there was to know about the human body and how to fix it, and he was great with the women. So he was a total inspiration to me, and I decided from that day that this is what I want to do. This guy is going to help me get there, and one day I'm going to be better than him. So he challenged me, being the only boy, over that weekend, and we got a good relationship going. So he owned a company called ManuMedic that did a ton of different manual medicine courses. I started doing them one after the other, which is rare for someone at my age to be already very dedicated towards a certain cause. I was going to go to this college and I was going to become better than him. That was my only real goal at the moment. So I managed to get into the school after lots of work on working as a sports masseuse for a while and a personal trainer, and then a muscle joint therapist, which was a step before getting onto this course. And just with that aspiration of trying to become better than him, I was experienced to meeting lots of great people and some great opportunities. And by the time I was 25, I worked for and consulted for top Premiership League football teams, and then also the NHL and the NBA. So very fortunate at an early age, just from meeting the right people and putting in a lot of hard work. Today I'm also very fortunate to be able to teach now for the academy that this guy who's now my mentor, who inspired me, he runs the Academy for Personal Training in Oslo and Sweden. So I teach there, and I normally have some tips and some advice I give the students before they leave. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So number one is, when they ask what type of direction do you go towards within the role of personal training or within health and fitness, I normally tell them to choose something that you're already very good at. Don't go by something that you really enjoy or that you are just your passion, because let your passion be your hobby. Let your passion remain your passion. I felt like I fell into that trap of going into a profession that was my passion, and now I can't separate between work and social life. Okay, it's no longer my passion, it's work. So today I try to tell people to don't do that mistake. Follow something that you're really good at and allow something that you have as a passion to remain your passion. Secondly, if you want to be better than the average Joe and the average person in your industry, which I hope everyone here does, you have to be willing to do things that the average person in the industry does not do. You need to be willing to put in the extra time and effort into both your education and to your dedication towards your work. You need to have an attitude where you do not want to accept mediocrity, and you have to be able to push yourself to a much higher level of whatever you're doing in your industry. Thirdly, I would say that you have to find yourself a mentor, because they can help you take shortcuts, they can help you not make the mistakes that they've done, and they can speak out of experience and learn lots of valuable lessons. Number 4, when you're trying to make decisions, again, on what direction to take within your career, try to work backwards in life. Try to find out what's your end goal. What type of everyday situation do you want to have? What type of salary do you want to have? What type of people do you want to work with? Look at your end goal and work backwards. From the very beginning, start making decisions that will push you towards that end goal. Otherwise, you're going to end up working for 10, 20 years of your life before you find out that this isn't what I want to do. You need to be sincere, transparent, and keep your integrity. Otherwise, you're going to be called a bluff, and your people are going to lose respect for you. So in order to keep fruitful and meaningful relationships and be honest and transparent and have good values, make sure that your hearts are in the right place. And then finally, just make sure that you're not afraid to take chances, take risks, be bold. That's the only way that you can learn is from your own mistakes. I keep on asking myself, as Marcus said, when I came out here, I sold my apartment in Stockholm, Sweden, to finance the operations down here. I kept my mortgage, didn't tell the bank. So that was the way that I managed to come down here. I brought my fiance at the time and my best mate, who was going to help me set up the company. I had a full one-night stay at a hotel in Barsha, and that was everything I had set up at the moment. And I just had a lot of money in my bank account, which felt great at the moment. So that's more or less how I started. And the question I asked myself is, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I think that's something that's, for most of us, the worst situation that can happen isn't really that bad. So take a risk and follow your dreams. Yeah.